The island of Mallorca provides the stunning backdrop for the 2020 Challenge Tour Grand Final. It's the climax of the season-long road to Mallorca, and the main contenders to top the rankings are all here to stake their claim for a place in Challenge Tour history. Our host venue is the splendid Tea Golf and Country Club, just a short drive from the Mallorcan capital, Palma. It's an undulating layout, and Anthony Wall, it certainly asks a few questions of the players.
Yes, absolutely. A few doglegs out there, so really want to be playing from the fairway. The rough for me is quite sparse, so there'll be one or two flyers out there. The greens are perfect. So plenty of hole putts. As we have a look at Snyder from yesterday, normally very straight off the tee. And there you see, scoring's going to be pretty bunched. A lot of wedges out there this week.
He's the man who tops the Road to Mallorca rankings. Is he going to finish this week at the top and be this season's Challenge Tour #1? It was an opening round of 71 under par for Schneider to Tyler Coivisto, who won on his very first Challenge Tour start. No need to be embarrassed about that, Tyler. 6 birdies on the card for the American, couple of drop shots as well, and he opened up with a round of 67.
Experienced Matt Baldwin here at the par 3, 15th. That was a beautiful shot. He'd go and convert that.
He also scored a round of 67 to start the week, so excellent from him. He played with this man, Santiago Tarrio, who's been in great form recently. His tee shot at the 15th was an absolute belter, but would you believe he 3-putted from there for a bogey? He still shot around a 66, so 5 under after the opening exchanges.
Richard Mansell. And a beautiful pitch up the hill at 11. That would obviously lead to a birdie.
Absolutely delighted to be back out on a golf course, Anthony, I think, after the positive COVID test and being locked away in a hotel room for 10 days and making the most of it as well. Mansell in a 3-way share of the lead with Tarrio and Bjorn Helgren, who had a couple of eagles on the card. They're the leaders. Day 2 conditions, slightly overcast, really not very much in the way of breeze. A little bit of drizzle first thing. Let's get out to the course with Kit Alexander, who's with Matthew Baldwin.
Matt, you're very handily positioned on the leaderboard there after an opening 67. How pleased were you by that effort?
Yeah, it was good. It was, I got off to a quick start. I was 2 under through 4, I think it was, and then I said to Jules, who's caddying for me this week, that I just felt like I was waiting for a bad shot. I hit a really bad shot off the 10th, and it was almost like I got it out of the way and made a good bogey out of it, and then kind of cracked on from there really.
A little bit damper and cooler today. What are you expecting from the second round?
I mean, from my point of view, I'm going to try and do the same thing. I'm going to, just be aggressive when it's needed, and then, be conservative when it's needed as well. So, in terms of conditions, I don't see it playing much different. I mean, it's a little bit cooler. You might find that the ball's not going quite as far. So, other than that, I'm just going to try and do the same thing.
Well, Baldwin par the opening hole. This is his 3rd at the par 5 second. And nicely done. That would produce his first birdie of the day.
3 par 5s this week. They are playing the easiest holes on the golf course. First shot, a boot into this par 5. And that's a beautiful shot.
Last man in the field this week, the Welshman Boot, hoping to take advantage, hoping to take home the big prize, the grand final title itself. This is Germany's Nikolai von Dellinghaus, 31st on the Road to Mallorca rankings. If he were to get a win this week, he could climb inside the top 5. That's what they're all trying to do. It could get him some starts on the European Tour next season. A birdie there would take him to 3 under.
Just the perfect second shot for Garcia down the hill. And that just calms any nerves that are out there. But often on a Friday, it feels easier. Been there already once this week.
Comes from a great golfing family in northern Spain. This is the Swede, Christopher Blomstrand, who's had 4 top 10s in his last 5 starts, so he's in good form, and that's a lovely roll at the second, producing his first birdie of the day. Blomstrand to 4 under. ideal playing conditions.
Just the uphill, pretty straight for Matt Ford. This sort of week suits him, no question about it. He's been there before, he knows what's required.
Yes, it's an opening birdie for the 42-year-old Englishman.
The final group are poised and ready on the first tee behind me, and very shortly all 45 players will be out there for their second round.
Well, first up it is Richard Mansell, who made a hot start yesterday. Birdie at the opening 2 holes.
We heard from Matt Baldwin earlier talking about the conditions out there, not really changing. I would say the only difference, maybe the fairways might firm up slightly, might change the odd club off the tee, but certainly not at the first. It's downhill, it's quite wide.
Santiago Tario got his girlfriend Noelia on the bag. Said she plays a big part in his golfing game. Helps read the putts. Made 1 or 2 yesterday and had that horrible 3-putt at the 15th.
Helgren first tee up by the practice ground. Beautiful facilities this week. Many chipping greens, so the guys can really get to know the facilities and what's required out there.
2 eagles yesterday for Helgren, looking rather anxiously at that one. Looks to have drawn a good lie though. One of those eagles was at the par 4 8th. Holing out from the fairway.
Matt Ford at the 3rd, he's managed to knock it past the penalty area. Only dropped 1 shot yesterday. He's a consistent performer, as I mentioned earlier. And that's a beautiful shot. Managed to get it all the way back there, which is never easy.
Back to the first, second shot here for Tario, who's 13th on the road to Mallorca. Another player with a great chance of climbing inside the top 5. Normally at this stage of the year, of course, we're looking to top 15 in the rankings. We'll earn a European Tour card. Not quite the same because of the COVID pandemic, because all statuses from last year are frozen on the European Tour for next season. So just 5 spots available to get a certain number of starts next season on tour from those at the top of the Challenge Tour rankings this season.
Absolutely, quite a good angle there for Helgren, considering he missed the fairway. He had the cover of the bunker. Actually started with a couple of birdies yesterday, so looking good already.
Mentioned earlier, that's what Richard Mansell did yesterday. Birdie start after the 10-day isolation period. Good angle for him here at the first.
Yeah, really has opened up the green, Mansell here. And I like the thought of being below the hole. It's a good spot to be around here. The greens are quick, 12 on the stimp.
He was relying yesterday on his caddy Connor, who'd done all the reconnaissance work, steered him round nicely in that opening 5 under 66. Here's Boot.
Missed the fairway off the tee, so he's lobbing this one in, trying to get up and down for his part. And that's the difference nowadays with the golfers. They've all got these measuring devices, so those sort of shots in the old days really would have been difficult. Not quite the way nowadays.
Every chance of saving his par there. We'll come back to that. First of all, Donito, his 3rd at the par 5. Second, the Italian, the man from Rome.
Yeah, quality shot in there. Great control.
Well, it was an Italian winner of the grand final last year, Francesco Laporta, who also topped the Road to Mallorca rankings as well. Tario for birdie at the first.
Really not what he was looking for after a decent tee shot. Maybe just a little bit tentative after that 6 last night late on.
Yes, he bogeyed the last, didn't he, as well as the 3-putt bogey at 15. He'd been going along so nicely. Ford for the bird at 3.
Calm player. Beautifully done, just eases it in. Doesn't seem to get out of his own, stays in his present and just keeps on moving forward. Doesn't get too excited about it.
2 under through 3 holes. Excellent start for him. To a fellow Englishman, Mansell for birdie at the first. And that's a beautiful roll, isn't it? He has putted well so far this week. That's a good sign for the man who's currently 3rd on the Road to Mallorca rankings. He's looking to claim the top spot. He's got the game face on.
Yeah, interesting point, Dom. You know, these are the sort of putts you need to hold. These are momentum builders, 15 feet down the hill for Helgren. Makes a big difference. You hold 2 or 3 of those a day. The game feels so much easier.
So it's a par to start for Bjorn Helgren. Represents the Black Mountain Golf Club over in Thailand. So many Swedes seem to spend time over there and have an attachment. Saw Danito's approach at the second. This is a birdie putt.
Yeah, he's managed to birdie all the par 5s so far, and he keeps that trend going. He looked confident yesterday.
Yeah, he talked to Kid after his round, didn't he? He said every department of his game is pretty solid at the moment, and that's a good sign, surely. Boot for par at the third.
Yeah, nicely done. Sometimes those saves are just as important as rolling the birdie putts in.
Yeah, especially having just made birdie at the second hole. Didn't want to give it straight back. Tario for par at the first. Unusual putting grip. That's a shame. Has not missed a cut all season on the Challenge Tour, but that's a bogey at the opening hole. And he falls back into the group at 4 under par, which is 2 behind our leader, Richard Mansell, off to a good start. And we'll have more from this second round at Tee Golf and Country Club when we come back.
For us, it's a dream come true. We've been working over 4 years to refurbish this golf place. We bought it in 2015. And since then, we've been working, planning. That was 2016, a whole year planning how to reconvert the golf as it was planned originally by John Harris. It took us 3 years refurbishment. It was October last year that we finished it. And then we were offered to host the grand final from the Challenge Tour. And of course, we loved that idea, and we had to work hard to make it happen, what is happening today. Today we can see already in our website is booming, the views. We jumped from 5,000 views a month to 20,000 views this last month, and it's exceptional and it's incredible, you know, to make us known worldwide as one of the top golf places in Europe.
Yes, it is a wonderful venue to bring down the curtain on this season's Challenge Tour season with the grand final itself. Course is in great condition. The greens are pure. We're seeing plenty of putts hold. Can Alexander Knapper from Germany bag this one? Yes, he can at the 6. In fact, that's his first birdie of the day as he moves to 4 under par. 15th on the road to Mallorca, looking to climb inside the top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Up ahead at the third, Christopher Blomstrand. His second shot, he managed to birdie the second also. And that's just perfectly done.
Another experienced player out there, Blomstrand. To Bjorn Helgren. Up the slope, at the third, par start for him. And that's a beauty. He's left it under the hole as well, so a really good chance, which he would hole to move to 6 under.
Now the experienced Matt Ford. Par 3 up the hill. He's at 1 and 3. And that was beautifully done. He'd go on to hold that. And they were moving nicely to -6 already.
Yeah, really good early move from the Englishman. It was a birdie at the first for Richard Mansell. Now he started birdie yesterday. This is for Groundhog Day, and that's really nicely done. So Mansell gets it to 7 under par. He's the man setting the early pace in this second round. 2 or 3 pars to follow. There he is through 5 holes at 7 under, 1 ahead of Ford and Bjorn Helgren. And it's to Helgren we go at the par 3 6th. Slightly uphill, Anthony.
Yeah, makes it a little bit tougher for the guys to judge. He was a bit worried about his iron play yesterday, so he went back onto the range and clearly sorted it out. Judged that beautifully, left it under the hole. So important this week. Par 3s are pretty strong actually. They're a good set. Pretty long. They sort of range between 160 and 220 yards. Good iron player, Mansell. Been impressed with him so far this week. Really turns through the ball well. Yeah, maybe half a club short, but right on line. Signs are good.
Santiago Tarrio last to go, 1 over par at the moment. Not much happening for him so far.
Teeing up on the right-hand side, so probably trying to move this one a little bit from left to right. Maybe in between clubs. Yeah, it's okay. Again, just under the hole, just half a club short maybe. Good team, Dom.
Yeah. Good chance for him to open his account. Let's go up to 7 and the second to this par 4 for Knapper.
A couple of bunkers to deal with off the tee, so he's managed to draw that one round the corner. Be looking to try and draw this one in also, pin up the left-hand side. Quite a long-looking swing, that one. Just seemed to lack a little bit of forward momentum through the shot.
Blomstrand has found the fairway bunker on this 7th hole. Not that deep, so shouldn't present a problem if it's lying okay.
Yeah, it's not that big a miss, actually. We wandered up there this morning, and it's quite a narrow tee shot at 7. But he's certainly made up for it. What a beautiful golf shot.
Yeah, chance for him to move to 6 under par as we drop back a hole, and the birdie putt for Mansell.
He's been putting well all week so far. In truth, though, quite an outside chance. No question, right to left, and he'll take that one as it drops in the right-hand door.
I'll tell you what, he's holed some putts, hasn't he, over the last day and a half or so, and that moves him 2 clear at the top of the leaderboard.
Now Knapper quite a wide with his second shot from the perfect position in the centre of the fairway. He's a long way from the band. He's on the dance floor. Never looked like it was going to get there, but it does drop in the low side. Now that is a bonus.
2 birdies in a row. Nice move from Knapper, so he gets it to 5 under, 3 off the pace.
It's one of those, Dom, where you just quickly put your head down and walk off, isn't it, when you hole one from 40 feet.
And off he goes to the 8th tee. We'll head back to 6th green and Tarrio. Still no birdie. He's left himself the sort of range, I'm afraid, that he 3-putted from yesterday at the 15th. I shouldn't mention that again, bringing in bad karma. Blomstrand.
Yeah, after a good bunker shot, just off the edge of the fairway. Just drifts away.
Just a par, he stays at 5 under. Chance for Helgren at 6 as well.
Certainly coming from the perfect part of the green to be aggressive with this one. Just drops away. A little bit tentative. Still flat calm out there. Never a wind to speak of, so... Well, this is interesting to watch from behind. Tarrio here. Yeah, nicely done. He stays 4 under par.
He's just kind of treading water at the moment, isn't he? 1 over today. Santiago Tarrio. Mansell leads the way. Johannesson has put on a real burst. Christian Kroh Johannesson, he's gone eagle birdie, birdie, birdie from the 11th. What a move. Let's hear from the Norwegian with Kit.
Christian, a spectacular last 5 holes. Talk us through the little run you've been on.
To be honest, I played solid the first 9, but none of the putts dropped, and I holed a long one on number 11 for eagle, and after that it's been good ball striking and good putting.
How much of a case is it that once one goes in, everything else seems to, and you gain momentum from that?
It's important, especially around here, because I think the greens are a bit difficult to read, so you need that confidence when you play the putts. So yeah, right now I feel comfortable in the greens.
Fantastic scoring, keep it going.
Thank you.
Man who has held a card for the European Tour, Christian Krogh Johannesson. Tario at the 9th. He's just made his first birdie of the day at the 8th to get back to level par on his round. It's a pretty beefy par 3, this one, Anthony. You talked about the strength of the short holes here.
Yeah, they're a good set of par 3s, and you're right. A little bit uphill as well, hitting over a ravine. Now Mansell. Been a strong part of his game so far as his mid-irons. Probably 6-iron or so in there today. And there you see further evidence. Bit of a bounce there, considering he's pitching into an upslope. So the weekend will be interesting as the course starts to change. It always firms up at tournaments during the week, unless there's loads of rain.
Certainly the players are expecting that to happen, and there is no rain in the forecast. Make a little breeze out there tomorrow. That'll make things interesting. We'll see. Helgren in the meantime.
Yeah, a couple of par 3s now. He managed to get it in pin high, so clearly knows his numbers well and he's playing decent. Looks to move the ball pretty well from right to left.
To Knapper, who's just birdied the 10th. Here he is at the par 5 11th. Third shot.
Pretty simple shot. These guys know their numbers pretty well nowadays, all these measuring devices you see on the driving ranges. Yeah, good shot, backing it up.
An uphill birdie putt upcoming for the German.
This one's not easy, Dom. Vitario out of the bunker, coming through the fringe. It's all about the strike, really. He's elected to fly it all the way. Clearly a good lie. What a shot that is. Makes all the difference. All about the lie when you play a bunker shot. That's the first thing you look at. If it's not lying so well, it will definitely release more.
Still got a par putt from some, 3-4 feet or so as we go to Knapper. The birdie putt at 11 and walking that one in. And that is 4 birdies in 6 holes around the turn for Alexander Knapper. So a nice move from the German as he advances to 7 under.
Now Mansell, he uses one of these fat grips which almost takes the hands out of it, so he's trying to rock the shoulders a little bit more. Also uses the aim point method, so charts the greens, but forgot to hit it there. Often the case, you can spend so much time on the line you forget to hit them. Very rarely hit them past when you do that, you often leave them short. Be interesting to know how many feet of putts he hits this week, but so far he seems to have holed a lot of putts.
Yep, he has waved the magic wand very well. Helgren.
You see his putting grip, he's left below right, the left hand sits below, and that sort of guides the face through the putt. Again, another one that doesn't release it too much, and that's beautifully done. Perfect, absolutely perfect pace.
2 birdies, no drop shots on the outward 9. He gets to 7 under. Just a little bit of housekeeping here for Tario.
And we've seen 1 or 2 misses from Tario already this week. That looked better, more pace to that.
It did. It looked a much more confident stroke, didn't it? Level par to the turn for the Spaniard. Here's where he started the day at 5 under par. It is Richard Mansell, though, the Englishman, who leads by 1. Day 2 of the Challenge Tour Grand Final from Tee Golf and Country Club. The road to Mallorca season is coming to a conclusion in Mallorca at Tee Golf and Country Club. It is the 2020 Challenge Tour Grand Final, and it's England's Richard Mansell who leads the way by 1. But a great day for Christian Krogh Johannesson with a round of 65. He leads in the clubhouse at 6 under.
The final groupings are obviously still out on the course, but any thoughts on where this might have you positioned going into the weekend?
Hopefully I'm not too many shots behind. I guess I'm going to be about probably 5 shots behind. But right now I'm in the mix again. Yesterday I was a bit out of it, so I'm happy.
Absolutely lovely round of golf. Well played.
Thank you very much.
Back out to the action, and it's to the difficult par 3 12th we go, and Santiago Tarrio.
Clearly warming up a little bit. Jumpers off. Oh, big bounce. So clearly starting to firm up early in the week. That's okay. Got it past the hole, which I think is pretty important.
Yes, you don't want to be short, do you? Mansell next up.
Made 2 here yesterday, Dom. Hit it pretty close from memory. No real bailout here. Water right, and the left side runs out pretty quickly. That is going left, actually. Yeah, might just get away with it. Might just hang up in the semi. Big green.
Helgren is last to go here. This looks a better line. It's a much better line. Look at this. Excellent stuff from Bjorn Helgren. And he'll have that for a 2 at the 3rd most difficult hole on the course.
Up ahead at 15. He's been pushed forward 21 yards. So a completely different test today. 3 tiers to this green. This one's on the front today. Oh, that's what I like to see. As a man who's done his practice rounds and knows exactly where to hit it. Yeah, good shot, well judged.
I think this is a pretty impressive performance so far from Matt Ford as well. He's 4th on the road to Mallorca. 4 and 5 really are the spots that are a little vulnerable out there this week in terms of players vaulting above them and grabbing those starts on the European Tour next season. Mansell, 12.
Yeah, trying to run it down the slope. And absolutely right in regards to Matt Ford. Just shows you the experience can tell late in the season.
Little testing time at the moment for Mansell as we go to David Boot, the Welshman, playing with Matt Ford.
Interesting to see a man chipping this close, but clearly likes his short game, which is good to see. These young fellas should be chipping as much as possible.
He just made a birdie at 14. He'll have that for par at the 15th as we hop back to 12, and Tarrio outside chance of a birdie.
Yeah, a little bit of work left to do there. It's amazing when you lose a bit of confidence on the greens. You seem to keep getting those 3 and 4 footers. Now someone has been putting well. Matt Ford. Played with him a number of times over the years. He is a good putter and excellent with his wedges. It's 2 2s on that hole.
Yeah, I really like this hole. No wonder. He moves it to 6 under par. Back over to 12. Mansell with a par putt.
We've seen some footage hold from him this week, but this would be asking a lot. Yeah, there you go. What a difference that makes.
All about momentum, yes. Thank you, putter.
He might be taking that one back to the hotel this evening with him.
Cuddling up in bed with it. David Boot with a par putt at 15. Ooh, just about.
A little bit of grain, probably just grabbed that, maybe just thinned it slightly. He ran out of pace pretty quick. Just caught enough of the hole.
He stays at 4 under. Helgren has this after the excellent tee shot at 12 to move to 7 under. And the Swede is right in it. So he climbs alongside Alexander Knapper, who's at 7 under par, 1 behind our leader Richard Mansell. And let's take a look at Helgren's swing, Anthony.
Pretty standard ball position, just off the left heel there. Loads quite well into his right side. And then from there, for me, he just lags a bit of room and hangs back a little. Probably tends to draw the ball a lot with his hands for me.
Tyler Coivisto, the former school teacher from Minnesota, who's had Tom Lehman, a former Open champion, as a mentor. Lovely shot into the 14th. He's just birdied the 13th, and that after a double bogey at 12.
Now the impressive ball at I think he hits the ball really well. Watched him a few times. Oh, hello.
Oh, how unlucky was that?
Very, I would suggest.
That seemed to pitch right in the hole and has come out again.
Yeah, he was aiming at the hole as well, so he should almost get a bonus point.
Level par the front line. He's birdied the 10th. He's got a great chance there at 14 as well. As we go to 16 and Knapper from the fairway bunker.
Yeah, that's a classy shot. It's an awkward distance, that sort of 60, 70 yarder. I think we're all hoping Moller holds this one.
Is there any justice in the world? Yes, there is.
And the clubhouse like it as well. They felt his pain.
So Nicholas Muller moves to 6 under par. Over to Knapper to get to 8 under at the 16th.
Oh, it's his day, isn't it? That just hung on the left side. In the pocket and run.
Well, I can tell you that Richard Mansell has bogeyed the 13th. He's dropped back to 7 under. And that means that Knapper ties the lead with Bjorn Hellgren. There it is, Germany and Sweden on top. Then it's the two Englishmen, Ford and Mansell. And we'll have the closing holes on day 2 of the 2020 Challenge Tour Grand Final when we come back. Time now to go back to pre-COVID times and rewind 12 months to the 2019 Challenge Tour Grand Final, which was also staged here in Mallorca. The top 3 in the rankings paid a visit to Palma's striking Basilica de Santa Maria de Mallorca for a pre-tournament photo shoot. Smile please, Callum Hill, Richard Bland and Francesco Laporta. Already assured of their promotion to the European Tour, it was Laporta who prevailed in the challenging final round conditions at Golf Club Alcanada to win the Grand Final and claim Road to Mallorca top honours as well.
Sound nice, sound incredible, sound amazing, and it's just a dream come true. My father was there, and the first time my father see me win a tournament, he was really happy.
Who will get their hands on that trophy this year? Who will be crowned the Road to Mallorca champion? We shall see. Long way to go yet. Fairly benign weather conditions for this second round of the 2020 Challenge Tour Grand Final. We've already seen a couple of rounds in the mid-60s, but out in front it is Germany's Knapper and Sweden's Bjorn Hellgren.
Bjorn, 8 under par for the tournament. How do you assess your performance so far in this second round?
Been playing solid today, so I'm just gonna, keep going the last 3 holes. Got the putter rolling a little bit, so I'm just gonna try to keep that momentum with the putter. Keep hitting good tee shots.
Well, he's found the fairway at the 16th, uphill with his second. Sounds calm, he sounds confident. It's okay. He'll have a look at birdie at least.
Mansell on the same hole, beautiful hole 16 up the hill. Prime position, taking on the left side, which is the way to play. All pars and a bogey so far on this backside, so needs to get something going. Well, that'll help. Full steed on the bag, keeping up with his man. Good to see.
Hasn't made a birdie since the 6th hole, so he's due. Skipping away to Knapper, his second to the par 4 17th.
Just got to be careful coming out of the semi there. Just his patches we've seen all week. He had a jumpy one. Just pitching on the front and the upslope. That's well judged. Never quite know what you're going to get.
Comes from Brillon, near Dortmund in northwestern Germany. He's a big fan of Borussia Dortmund, who play in the Bundesliga.
We heard from Hellgren moments ago, saying how well he's been putting. This one's out of that range, but often if you leave it under the hole, it can make quite a difference. There you see another try. Excellent effort. You get days like that, don't you, Don, where you just literally almost can't miss.
I wouldn't know, Anthony, but thank you for even suggesting it.
It's a bit harsh, Dom. I'm sure you do. We all do every now and then.
Mansell, good chance here.
Yeah, just a fraction down the hill, not a lot. Putting through his shadow, that's never easy. It's pretty straight, I would have thought. Yeah, well done.
First birdie of the back nine takes him into a share of the lead, back into a share of the lead at 8 under.
Up ahead at 17. We saw his shot out the rough, judged it very well. This one's left to right. Yeah, excellently done. That's 2 in a row. He goes to 9 under.
We've talked about Mansell's putting, but he's also rolling the ball very nicely. And Knapper with those birdies at 16 and 17. There he is, one clear of Mansell and Helgren. He'll wander over to the tee at the par 5 closing hole. And we will go back to 17. That's the view from the green back down this hole. And this is Santiago Tarrio.
Having to dig it out a little bit. The only ones we've actually seen that's been sitting down. In you go. Yeah, that's a great shot. They're using the front part of that green really nicely this afternoon. Now Mansell, same hole. Probably about as far off the fairway as the one we've just seen. And better lie, much cleaner. Trying to hit the ball first and drive through it. That will take a bit of the spin off it. Yeah, nicely judged again once more.
He'll face a very similar putt to the one that Knapper just holed. Helgren, also with just a wedge.
Beautiful fairways this week. And 3 great shots, you have to say. It's not that easy out there, folks.
They have the target surrounded. To 18 and the second into this closing par 5 for Knapper.
Probably just trying to fade it a little bit. He'll be aiming somewhere in the distance. Yeah, you can see their body turning left pretty early, trying to hold the face up. Back right pin hit, not easy at all, and that's not the place to hit it. A little bit more green than it looks maybe, but short-sighted himself.
Mansell for 2 in a row. Well done. Back in the groove. So he gets alongside Knapper once again in a share of the lead at 9 under.
Playing with Knapper is Blomstrand. Obviously a little bit of trouble off the tee. It's quite wide down there, so maybe he was stymied by a tree or two. A good angle here to this back right pin location, and a stunning shot to finish. Rightly so, put your hand up.
Cast iron birdie coming up for Blomstrand. Can Tarrio convert at 17? Just not really managed to get it going out there today. 3 birdies, couple of bogeys though. But he's got the par 5 18th to come, so he'll have another chance there, no doubt.
Helgren neat and tidy. You see his putting grip left below right. Index finger down the shaft. Quite upright, which is unusual. But a nice stroke. Yeah, knocks it in nicely. He moves to 9 under.
Yep, 3 of them tied at the top. Helgren, Mansell and Knapper. As Blomstrand taps in for his birdie at the last. It is a second round 68 for the Swede. 5 birdies, a couple of bogeys to begin the back 9, but he's in pretty good shape at 6 under.
Now Knapper slightly short-sighted himself, face pointing right up at the sky. He's really trying to pick his point where he's going to be pitching this one. Not a lot of green to work with, all about the strike. It's on line. Oh, I say, what a shot to finish. What a real bonus.
And what a finish that is. Birdie, birdie, eagle for Germany's Alexander Knapper. It is the low round of the week so far, a 63, and he's in at 11 under par. Excellent stuff. Not a drop shot on the card as well. So he's 2 clear of Helgren and Mansell, who are coming down that 18th hole. That forward in after a round of 67 at 7 under par. Tyler Coivisto doesn't make eagle at the last. Should make his birdie, which would be his 5th birdie of the back 9. Remember, he did make that double drop at number 12. He also bogeyed the 9th hole, but a good fight back all in all over the closing holes, and it's a round of 69. He's also in at 6 under par.
All pars on the front 9 for Moller. So I was looking for something special on the back 9. And a good birdie to finish. Back in 3 under, 68, and he's right up there for the weekend. Look for him to have a low score or 2.
Italian hopes are still alive through Enrico Di Nito. His birdie putt at 18, no problem at all. Just the one drop shot out there today. That was at the 10th. Birdie, birdie finish, and he's in at 7 under with 2 rounds to go.
Now a pin to stay away from at 18 for Mansell. You've got to try and stick to your target. Never easy, go pin hunting. Hit a good shot into the heart of the green here yesterday evening. Yeah, another one. Extremely well judged, completely blind. Off a slight upslope, which always helps, but that's a fine iron shot there.
Well, let's hear from the man who leads the tournament, Alexander Knapper.
63 is a sensational round of golf. Did you think that number would be out there today?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no wind, greens are pure, you can shoot that number.
And what was it that was particularly working for you today?
Putting, a whole lot of long putts. I think 3 really long ones on the first 10 holes. And yeah, that kept me going.
Well, Richard Mansell, with an eagle putt at 18 here, has a chance to tie Knapper in the clubhouse.
We've heard on many occasions how good these greens are. You can see there's not a dry patch in sight. They really are pristine. Seems to have given that one a bit of a whack. Yeah, that's not what he was looking for. That's a nasty one coming back. Slight misjudgment. Barely put a foot wrong, Dom, to be honest, Mansell, for 2 days.
Especially for someone who's been shut in a hotel room for 10 days after that positive COVID test. Helgren to finish with a birdie.
Probably a reflection of the one before. A little bit tentative up the hill. Whenever they're short, they always fall away on the low side.
67 for the Swede, so he goes into the weekend at 9 under. And Mansell with a putt for a closing birdie and a round of 66.
Just a bit open blade. You can see the blue line was probably aiming about correct, but just the face was slightly open. It's often the case. You wasn't expecting 5 or 6 feet back. And that can often add to the pressure. It just shocks you a little bit. But I'd rather see that than someone leave it 5 foot short, to be honest.
Well, in the end, it's a rather disappointing 3-putt par at the last for England's Richard Mansell, but he did make 5 birdies out there today. He's only dropped 2 shots so far over 2 rounds, so he's in good shape. He's alongside Helgren at 9 under. It is Knapper who leads by a couple. Matt Ford nicely tucked in, remember, 4th on the road to Mallorca. And let's have a look at the projected standings if things were to finish as they are on the leaderboard, and it would give Richard Mansell the Road to Mallorca rankings title.
The temperatures may have been a bit cooler, but the scoring really heated up here on day 2 of the Challenge Tour Grand Final. Germany's Alex Knapper is the man atop the leaderboard. His scintillating 63 was absolutely sensational. Can he be caught over the weekend? Join us tomorrow for round 3 coverage.